hearing his final remarks.
I promise you, I'll restore Roe v. Wade as the law of the land again.
From the State of the Union address last night, Caplin News is live with more. Movie fans preparing for a big weekend.
You have to say you want to be healthy.
A sneak peek into the 96th Oscar ceremony. And shoppers on high alert.
You buy mass-produced, the more that they need to keep creating.
Saving the planet from the fast fashion industry. These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello, South Florida. I'm Ivan Ilewski.
And I'm Esteban Rodriguez. Today is Friday, March 8th, 2024.
Live from the Lee Kaplan School of Journalism and Media in North Miami, this is Caplin News.
Fiery Address America heard President Biden's final remarks as his presidential term comes to an end. President Biden delivered his third State of the Union address as he faces re-election.
He spoke to the nation on several topics, including reproductive rights, Ukraine, and the humanitarian crisis in Gaza. Caplin News DC Bureau reporter Pamela Correa is live at the U.S. Capitol with the reaction to the address.
President Biden delivered his address here at the Capitol, talking about a variety of topics, such as raising the taxes for the wealthy, reducing the prices for prescribed drugs, the environment, and calling for more gun safety legislation. He also criticized Republicans for failing to pass a border bill, a bipartisan border bill.
If you, the American people, send me a Congress that supports the right to choose, I promise you, I'll restore Roe v. Wade as the law of the land again.
This approach resonated with Democrats, including South Florida Representative Frederica Wilson, who said on X, "We must restore Roe v. Wade and protect the freedom of everyone. We cannot go back." Across the aisle, Florida Republican Senator Marco Rubio also shared on Instagram, posting part of a clip from an interview he gave on Fox News.
Well, it's a proof of life speech, right? That's what it was. Is that I'm alive and I'm able to give a speech that I can read off a teleprompter, and I'm able to do the whisper, but mostly the screaming, and I'm able to say things that are really mean about the Republican Party and the Supreme Court, and I can make claims that they're going to get rid of Social Security, things that don't exist. And it makes a lot of the people in that room, some of them are pretty radical, very happy. So I imagine if you're watching some of these other networks, some of these commentators, which are a bunch of buffoons, they're just reading the talking points that are being sent to them. So I think it achieved the proof of life that maybe some of them, they just wanted to get through tonight.
Meanwhile, as protesters were outside of the Capitol calling for a ceasefire in Gaza, President Biden announced that he's directing the U.S. military to build a temporary port in Gaza that will allow more food, water, and medicine to enter the area. Election 2024 is shaping up to be a rematch of 2020. During his speech, Biden criticized Trump in several occasions without naming him. Trump, on his social media platform Truth, called the president angry and mentally disturbed. Reporting from Washington, D.C. for Caplin News, Pamela Correa.
Sweden has now formally joined the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, ending its stance on neutrality. On Thursday, the country officially became the 32nd member of NATO. Sweden's decision to join the alliance came after Russia's invasion of Ukraine in 2022. Its prime minister thanked NATO countries for accepting the country into the alliance, while U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken hailed the historic development.
Investigators from the National Institute of Standards and Technology have provided an update on what exactly caused the Surfside condominium collapse in 2021. The NIST says that when the building was built in 1981, the structural design wasn't up to code. The pool was not designed well and collapsed about 4 minutes before the entire building. The NIST is expected to finish their investigation next year.
A pelican problem has emerged in Florida as multiple brown pelicans have died over the past week due to broken wings. Wildlife officials are claiming that about 20 pelicans have died from wing-related injuries, but even more are in recovery at the Florida Wildlife Hospital in Palm Shores.
We're in this business because we love animals and want to help them, and it gets a little sad when the only way to really help most of these animals is to humanely euthanize them.
The birds have washed ashore at Cocoa Beach and many have had to be euthanized. The Florida Wildlife Hospital is still nursing 3 pelicans back to health and is working with different organizations to find the potential cause of injuries and death.
Fast fashion is the rapid production of clothes made in bulk, and unfortunately it causes extensive damage to the planet and exploits workers who make the stuff. Caplin News' Rosaura Mendoza has more on why many have decided to stop shopping for fast fashion brands.
In order to keep the price of production down, fast fashion pieces are often made out of synthetic materials that cause more harm than good to the environment. With the negative impact on global society, stores such as Peachtree Revival is rising to combat and contribute to the waste problem that is perpetuating the cycle of overconsumption.
Overproduction and overconsumption of fast fashion play a largely responsible for how the industry impacts society, which give the garment a short lifespan and negatively contribute to landfills.
Fast fashion would be anything that is manufactured. Plenty of clothing is made with cheaper materials and textiles and things like that. It's basically a form of getting a lot of mass production of clothing so that it could be quicker sales and people can have always something trending, something new to add the consumerism way of living, I would say.
As it creates a huge desire for materialistic goods, people are expected to buy a new trendy clothes every season.
This store specifically, it's sustainable and it's better for the environment. You're wearing brand new clothes, the brand new clothes goes in the garbage and the cycle goes on, so it's like, it's better to recycle clothes.
Fast fashion is affecting the environment because of how much waste of clothing is produced. Up to 100 billion garments are produced by the fashion industry every year. Only 20% of textiles are collected for reuse or recycling globally.
Vintage things helps the environment because there's so much stuff in the planet already that is one of the first industries that's responsible for the global contamination.
There are several options that we as a community can adopt to combat fast fashion. We can repurpose old clothes, buy quality, shop for second-hand clothes, and support small local business. If you do want to save our environment, it's time for you to take action.
The more that you buy mass-produced, the more that they need to keep creating. If one person stops and then you can influence others to do the same, you create a whole community of people that think that way. So slowly it creates a shift and an impact. Creating more will only make the situation more complex, so it's best to slow that down, and that's what Peachtree is about, having a slower way of fashion, being more sustainable.
As we contribute to the ongoing decline in fast fashion, we will realize the damage that is having on the environment around us and the future to come. Reporting for Caplin News, this is Rosaura Mendoza.
Inter Miami and Nashville compete for the CONCACAF Champions Cup.
That's still ahead, and so is the story.
Hello? Hey man, what's up?
Christopher Nolan, Greta Gerwig, and movie starts in one place for a special night in Hollywood. Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes.
Severe weather can strike anytime, anywhere, but there's a simple way to stay safe. Hey, Jim Cantori here. I stay safe in dangerous weather by planning ahead. You can stay safe too with a few easy steps. Build an inexpensive kit with supplies for your family's needs. Write down important information like phone numbers and medications. Always talk with your family and remember any pets in your planning. Be ready, be safe. Start your plan today at ready.gov/plan.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
You gotta stop with that depression stuff. That's what white people think. You all right?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
If you're buzzed and doing this, to make yourself feel okay to drive,
CWX.
you're not okay to drive.
YGKLVW. Regular you.
The world awaits to find out which movies win big at this year's 96th Oscars. Christopher Nolan, Bradley Cooper, and Emma Stone are among many nominated at this year's Oscars, taking place this Sunday.
Caplin News reporter Gabriela Perez has more from Hollywood.
Film lovers, it's time for the best season of the year, as our favorite celebrities are striking poses on the red carpet once again, as they get recognized for their talents on the big screen. The Oscar Academy Awards are back for its 96th year.
Emmy Award-winning late-night talk show host and producer Jimmy Kimmel will be returning to host the ceremony for his fourth time, after Kimmel reunited with the Barbie cast during the Oscars promo.
Hello? Hey man, what's up?
We can expect some flick staples during the 2024 Academy Awards. The nominees for actor in a leading role include Bradley Cooper for Maestro and Jeffrey Wright for American Fiction.
Yo, Sharonda, girl, you be pregnant again?
Following actor in a supporting role, Robert De Niro for Killers of the Flower Moon and Ryan Gosling for Barbie, who will also be bringing his Kenergy to the stage. Nominees for actors in a leading role include Annette Bening for Nayad and Emma Stone for Poor Things.
Good evening.
Alongside actors in a supporting role, who we know as Emily Blunt for Oppenheimer, Danielle Brooks for The Color Purple,
Teacher taught us about a place called Africa.
and America Ferrera for Barbie.
And you can never say you want to be thin, you have to say you want to be healthy.
Speaking of Barbie, well-known names like Greta Gerwig and Margot Robbie were snubbed for Best Director and Best Actress nominations. But we can most definitely expect these nominees for Best Director: Justine Triet for Anatomy of a Fall, Christopher Nolan for Oppenheimer, and Yorgos Lanthimos for Poor Things.
The Academy Awards will be airing on ABC and broadcasting outlets at 7 p.m. Eastern and 4 p.m. Pacific time. Worldwide this Sunday. Reporting for Caplin News, I'm Gabriela Perez.
Inter Miami is on the road to kick off the Champions Cup. Lionel Messi and his teammates took on Nashville SC last night, and the soccer star scored 1 of 2 goals. But it was the shot made by Luis Suarez in the 5th minute of stoppage time that secured the 2-2 draw. They are back home to face Montreal on Sunday. And elsewhere, the Heat lost 108 to 114 in Dallas, and the Panthers were also unfortunately defeated at home by Philadelphia 2-1. Don't go anywhere, guys. Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut. The one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Every day,
Millions of people are connecting
and even though we're overcoming obstacles,
watching each other's backs,
and banding together.
we should still make an effort
We should still make an
to
effort.
get to know each other.
On a deeper level.
Father,
Cosplayer,
Mentor.
actor.
it's time we take a step forward
It's time we take a step forward
come together,
and discover
how accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
That's all the time we have for today. I'm Esteban Rodriguez.
I'm Ivan Ilewski. Get more news anytime at caplinnews.fiu.edu.